FluxKraft is a Drupal distribution for self-hosted social automation. It includes services such as Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Dropbox. But if you find yourself often reading blog posts and use the service Pocket, you may notice that it's not integrated by default in FluxKraft. But thanks to Umar Ahmad, he has made a FluxPocket module which integrates Pocket for FluxKraft, and he made this during his Google Summer of Code 2014 project. So let's use this. First, let's go ahead and install FluxKraft. You can find it at this location right here, which is the main repository for FluxKraft. So let's go ahead and clone that. I'll go ahead and rename this to Drupal. And now let's install this. Let's refresh. And here we go, we get the distributions install page. Alright, so now let's create our database. So Drupal, our username, and let's go ahead and change this to localhost. Okay, so there we go. So now installing FluxKraft. So while this is installing, we can go back here and go ahead into our modules directory, and let's start cloning the FluxPocket module. This can be found at this GitHub repository right here, which has the latest release. So let's go ahead and clone that. And now let's configure our site. FluxKraft with Pocket. Let's name it that. Site email address. We can just add an email. Let's make a password. And let's save. Now we can also go ahead and configure services such as these right here, Flickr, Twitter, Facebook. But right now we're just going to be using Pocket, so let's continue. And now let's configure our cron. So go ahead and copy this right here and go back into your terminal, and let's cron tab and -e to edit, and this will take you into Nano or your editor. Go ahead and paste this at the bottom, and let's save that. And this will start the cron every 5 minutes, the cron job. So let's continue. And then we have successfully installed FluxKraft. So let's visit our new site. And we have just installed the module right here by cloning the repository FluxPocket. So let's go ahead and enable that module. Let's filter that out by Pocket. And here it is. Let's check that. And let's click Save Configuration. Okay, so now it's installed, but it says Composer's update needs to be run, so let's go ahead and go back to our terminal. Let's cd out, and let's run the command drush composer JSON rebuild. This will rebuild our JSON files. Alright, once that's done, let's go ahead and run drush composer manager update. And this will install the dependencies. If you get the message killed, you can go ahead and restart your Apache or PHP servers, and then let's try that again. Now this will take some time, but eventually it should start installing all the dependencies right here, as you can see. And there we go, it's finished. So now we can go back to FluxKraft And under configuration, we can go ahead web services and service endpoints, and let's add an endpoint to Pocket. So now this is where we need to create our Pocket app. So you can go ahead and go to getpocket.com/developer/apps, and let's create an application right here. We can name this FluxPocket. In the description, Pocket integration for FluxKraft. Let's give it the permission to add, modify, and retrieve our lists, any user's lists. And platforms, let's make this for web, and let's accept the terms of service. So now all we need is the consumer key right here. So let's go ahead and copy this. Let's paste it into here. And the polling interval, we'll just do every cron run. So let's save the configuration. And there we go, it's saved right here. So now, after doing this, we need to set up our account because we just added the app. Now we need to go under Web Services, Configuration Web Services, Service Accounts, and let's add an account. And scroll down here, and let's go ahead and add our Pocket account. It'll take you to this page, and where you can just authorize the app we just created, FluxPocket, to access our account. And there we go. Our account is successfully added to FluxKraft. Now what you need to do is go ahead and click Service Accounts right here in the top right, and see we don't have an account right here. So let's go ahead and click Add Account again, and go to Pocket. Then it should be automatically added to your account. If you click up here again, it should be listed right here, Pocket account. So now the fun part. Let's go ahead and add our rules. So let's add a rule. Let's say new node. If we ever create a new node, let's go here. We have to select our event. So whenever, after saving new content. So let's go ahead and click that. And you can also restrict by type, so article or basic page, but we'll just click choose none for that, and let's click save. You can also add conditions, which can compare data, check if it's empty, and all these stuff. So let's go to action. So whenever a new content is created on this page, now we're just doing this for example, this will probably be like a Facebook post or Twitter or something like that, but right now we're just gonna make it a node. Actions, let's create a new action, and here let's go to Pocket. As you can see, now there are all these features you have right here. You can add a URL to Pocket, add tags to URL, archive an item, clear all tags, delete URL, favorite an item, remove an item, remove particular tags, replace tags, and unfavorite an item. So these are all the actions you can do. So let's go ahead and add the URL to Pocket. So now values, well, you can use replacement patterns. So if you open this up, you get a real helpful guide to what you can do. So for the created content right here, we want to add the URL to Pocket. So let's go ahead and scroll down, and here we can find node:URL. So copy this and let's paste it in here. And this will be the URL that's going to be created in Pocket. Now the value of tags, we can also make tags. So let's make this, let's add FluxPocket. And let's value the account. Let's go ahead and select our account and press save. Alright, so we finished this. Let's go ahead and click Save Changes again. And let's make another rule. This time, if we update a node, so let's scroll down here and select after updating existing content, restricted by type none, let's save that. If we update, let's add an action to Pocket to favorite an item in Pocket. So again, let's favorite that node URL, and let's choose our account for Pocket, and let's save that. And let's save changes. Now let's add one last rule. This will be if we ever delete a node. So let's go down here. After deleting content, save that. We'll create an action to unfavorite and archive the URL in Pocket. So first let's unfavorite that item that we just favorited when updating the content. Just have node URL again. Choose our account. Let's click save. And we can add another action, so you can have more than one actions. So let's scroll down here and click Pocket, and you can also delete it if you want, delete URL, but for right now I'll archive that item. Let's select node URL, type in node URL, and choose our account again, and let's click Save. Save changes. And let's go back to our rules, and here we have our 3 new rules that we have created. So let's try this out. Let's go ahead and go to Content, add content. Let's add an article, and let's say there's a new scientific discovery. Something really amazing just happened. Let's go ahead and post this, and let's check in our Pocket. And look here, scientific discovery, success. This item was saved. So if we go ahead and open this in a new tab, it'll take us to that node that we just made. So this works. Let's go ahead and try editing this. Now this should favorite that URL in Pocket right here. So, oops, it was just a hoax. So let's go ahead and save this, and this should be favorited, and look at that, we just got the favorite right here. And now let's delete this article since it was just a hoax. Edit, delete, yes, let's delete this, and there we go, just like that, it's gone. So if we go ahead and check our archive right here, you can see that this is archived and it is unfavorited. So this is the Pocket integration module for FluxKraft named FluxPocket, and it works pretty well with no problems at all. And it was created by Umar Ahmad, so it's a really great module, and that's how you use it with FluxKraft.